Okay, welcome to another political science teaching class. I'm Sean. So today's topic is about failed states. So first of all, what is a failed state? A failed state is a state that is unable to effectively perform its basic function, such as providing security and upholding the rule of law. Failed states are characterized by a widespread of violence and corruption. And these are the factors of failed state. And first is that a failed state country usually unable to act like a complete member of international society, which means that they don't have a complete subject as a international member. The second factor is that the government usually lost their legitimacy, which means that the citizens of this country usually don't believe that this government can do anything to affect their life. And the third one is that they are unable to control their territory. Usually the failed state government can only control the capital, and beside the capital is controlled by the warlord, regional warlord. And the last one is that they are unable to provide public service. So can anyone tell me that what kind of government will, what kind of public service usually a government will provide you?
Healthcare.
Yes, in most of the country. And what about you?
Education.
Yes, education systems are usually provided by the government, but not in the failed state. Okay. And these are the three features about failed state. And the first one is that the light of quality decrease. So can you guys just to imagine that if you're living in a failed state, what's it like? What's it like to live in a failed state country? Use a metaphor or use a sentence to describe it. Okay.
Is it like animal in the jungle?
I mean, not that bad. You know, we're human, right? Who are civilized human. Not that bad. What about you? Do you have any metaphor?
It is like living in mid-century Europe.
Yes, close. Because in mid-century Europe, the government usually won't provide anything to its citizen. You have to depend solely on your own. So in failed state, it's a very similar situation that the people in that country usually have to depend on themselves. The government to them is like non-existent. Okay? And the second one is the government unable to maintain their order, so that everyone have to rely on themselves. So this has a lot to do with the third feature, which is regional warlord control the country, because they are anarchy society, so that the government will provide any like security or service, so the people will turn to regional warlord to seek for safety and security to make sure that their life can keep going. Okay. And failed state can pose a significant threat to international security, as they can serve as breeding guards or terrorism and other forms of transnational crime. They can also contribute to regional instability, as the collapse of state can lead to conflict and mass migration. And these are the example of failed state according to the Founder of Peace Index. So the most famous failed state in the international society is Somalia. And Somalia has been in a state of political and social upheaval for decades, and the government has been unable to provide basic services or maintain control over the country. Somalia is often cited as a classic example of failed state. And another famous failed state is Afghanistan. So we all know that Afghanistan currently is ruling by Taliban, right? A terror organization. So Afghanistan has a weak central government and has been embroiled in conflict for many years. The Taliban, a terrorist group, control large part of the country and has been responsible for widespread violence and human rights abuses. And another famous failed state example is Syria. Syria has been in the midst for a devastating civil war since 2011, and the government has been unable to maintain control of a large part of the country. The conflict has led to the displacement of millions of people and has been a devastating impact on country's infrastructure. Okay, and that is today's lessons, and thank you all for participating in this class. Thank you all.